In 1975, the communists entered Laos. We were all so poor, we didn't have anything to eat. We couldn't talk with other people in groups without them arresting us or splitting us up. They were afraid of us plotting an uprising against the communist government. During the night, they would come and knock on your doors. They would take you and just execute you. People would be screaming and yelling, and they would just kill them without a question. Two years later, my mother and uncle-in-law came up with a plan for all of us to escape. My mother and little sister, my aunts, Gail, Sil, Pan, nieces, Ding, Vandy, and brother-in-law, Somtan, all left first. They hid in the forest until me and my husband came along with our suitcases full of everything we had left. During the day, we would stay hidden and rest. When night came, we walked to use the darkness as camouflage. We eventually reached a cemetery and slept by the tombstones to stay hidden. My niece, Vandy, was a baby at the time. She would cry and cry because she was so used to seeing light. We were still very close to the village as we could hear the dogs barking. If we could hear the dogs barking, then they could hear my niece crying. We were also afraid of being discovered and killed. We finally came to our last resort as we brought along some sleep medication, planning on overdosing her on pills. It was better to sacrifice one than all 10 of us. But my husband came in and said, if we kill her, it will all be heavy on our hearts, and this whole plan would be foiled. It's bad karma. Early dawn came, and it was time for us to meet a man that would bring us across the Mekong River. All 10 of us piled into one tiny rowboat. It was just inches before it was submerged in the water. Only 2 of us could swim. If the boat sank, the rest of us would all drown and die. Eventually, we all made it across, but it wasn't time to celebrate as the people waiting on the other side of the river to take care of us took us in as slaves. After harvesting rice fields until the season was over, they called the Thai police and sent us to jail. My aunts and uncles in Thailand came to bail us out, but my mom was the only one that was acknowledged of Thai citizenship. This meant that the rest of us were to be sent to a refugee camp, but my mom stuck with us. We were so poor in the camps that we were lucky if we found one egg. We took that one egg and beat it up with lots of water. We fed all 10 of us with that single egg along with rice that they rationed to us. A church in the U.S. paid for our airfare and sponsored us to come here. We landed in Oakland, California. Gail landed in Canada. Dan, Sel, and Pan landed in small towns of Iowa. Me and my husband eventually moved to Iowa because I missed my sisters so much and I wanted to be closer to them. It has been over 25 years since I've lived in America. I went to school to learn how to read and write English. I no longer have to worry about food and money, and I am very lucky for that. I thank my sponsors, my friends, and my family for helping me with everything. Even though I am far away from my homeland, I can still be who I am here. I go to Buddhist temples and many Laos parties. I have many friends in my neighborhood that are Laos. I feel very happy here.